Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, fight fans? This is Curtiville with Counterpunch Boxing News, Evening Talks. Yes, it's that time. We'll let the chat load, let YouTube do their job, send out the notifications for everybody to come on and join the community. So we'll see who populates, we'll see who regulates, we'll see who deflects. We'll see who negotiates. Pretty good day today. Pretty good day today. And let's talk about some boxing. J underscore Mac Kid 7. My G, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you in the building. We got 11 on the chat as you guys come in. I know you guys, it throws you all in here at one time. Kaylin Simon. Counterpunch to you. Cisco Perez. Counterpunch to you. Been waiting for you live. Absolutely. The wait is over. I am here in full effect. Let's talk about some boxing. You know, today's been kind of a crazy day. Teofimo Lopez is letting his nuts hang. We got to talk about that. And that is over. What else do we have in the sport of boxing? Canelo Alvarez is taunting Oscar De La Hoya. That's another topic I want to counterpunch today. Oh, damn. A Trump supporter got killed today. Damn. Yeah, I think they, like it's something about the White House. I just heard about it. Because, you know, I'm not really into politics, but I mean, I did hear about that one. You know what I mean? Short Bus, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Love from Folkestone. A double B. Counterpunch to you. How you doing, Kurt? Big follower from Wales, UK. Keep it up. Best wishes. Jake McLeod Junior, counterpunch to you. Or is it Jack, right? Jake, or is it Jack? Oh, absolutely. I'm going to stay safe. You know what I mean? Crosbyton, Texas in the house. Where is Crosbyton, Texas? I mean, Texas is like bigger than most countries. So you say Texas and it's not like one of the major cities. I'm going to ask where it's at. Yeah, it's Jack. Cool. Just without the C. Just J-A-K. Counterpunch to you all day. Slotello Presents is in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Now, I think we have a 40 minutes from Lubbock. Yeah, okay. I dated a girl from Lubbock. Real good friend of mine to this day. Lubbock. She lived in Lubbock anyway. Let's talk about the quote-unquote proclaimed undisputed lightweight champion, Teofimo Lopez Jr. What's up, baby? There's some new news. What's going on? What's the new news? What's happening? Talk to me. Wilder in the building to this day. Kurt Wilder in the building. Okay, that's cool. You tell Deontay Wilder I said Bomb Squad. Yeah, you know that shit kind of grew on me. It used to be annoying. Now I kind of like it, I guess, because he does some outlandish shit like knock you out. I think really what he should do if he continues boxing, which I hope he does, when he knocks someone out, he shouldn't go to the neutral corner or anything. He should knock him out, because he does that gangster shit like he'll knock you out and then just walk off. But I think when he knocks you out, I think he should then yell that shit. Bomb Squad! Oh, man. Oh, Lopez undisputed. Yeah. I'm like this. See, here's the problem. It's not Teofimo's not to blame. Lomachenko's not to blame. Devin Haney is not to blame. Okay, if you're gonna blame somebody for this confusion, you need to blame Mauricio Suleiman. Why? Because Mauricio, Chris Serrano, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Because Mauricio is the guy that made another belt. Okay, and then you see the WBC Super World title was the belt. That was the belt. That was the prestigious belt that Muhammad Ali had, the one that Deontay Wilder had for 5 years with 10 title defenses, right? That belt, not fucking franchise. Franchise came along as this token, this trinket, this extra, right? And it's supposedly, since people couldn't lose it, it was just this franchise because the fighter was so marketable and all that silly shit that you couldn't give it to anyone else. So it's like, it was already a fucked up idea to begin with. Okay, it was already fucked up. And it was designed to put certain fighters on pedestals, which they didn't need to be, ever need to be. So that's the problem right there. And when this franchise situation was completed, or created rather, you had other fighters that should have been mandatories that they just gave the WBC to. So basically the WBC guys that are the champions now, like Jamal Charlo, like Devin Haney, those guys, they are actually the mandatories. Howdy, Kirk plus Chad. Counterpunch to you. So it's Mauricio's fault. He created all this confusion. But the question is, where do people view the franchise champion? Is the WBC the belt that everyone wants to fight for, or is the WBC franchise is just a belt that someone else made up? And I would say it's just a fucking belt that someone else made. That's all it really means. It doesn't mean as much as what people think it means. Just because you give it to certain fighters don't give it legitimacy, especially if a fighter can't lose it. However, Lomachenko did lose it to Lopez, which I think they upped the stakes because of the time, because of the coronavirus time. I think that. So because they did that, I think the belt meant more than what it was supposed to originally meant. Kurt, why is the IBO belt not considered a real belt? Look, Brandon, your guess is as good as mine, because Anthony Joshua still has that motherfucker. I don't know. I don't know. I'll do some research on it, Brandon, and I'll get back with you. So the IBO was once upon a time like the WBO. The WBO was a belt that nobody gave a shit about. I remember James Toney used to talk and crack and pop off shit and blast that belt for not really having legitimacy back in the day, back in the 90s. So, you know, now it does. Now it holds it just as much weight. Now they're getting their fees from these fighters. I don't know what the fees are, but, you know, WBO has came into power. Maybe one day the IBO will. But I will do the research for you. No, they have no mandatory obligation. They don't. And I think what's going to happen with the IBO, just right off the top of my head, they're going to have someone that made that belt what it is. Because if you guys can remember, the WBC really didn't mean anything without Ali. Ali had it. Ali made it what it was. It was basically the Muhammad Ali belt. You know, that's basically what it is. About 2000-ish. Yeah, because I know in the 90s it wasn't shit. Lady Sean, it wasn't shit. But with Teofimo, I mean, if you were Teofimo, you would call yourself the undefeated champion, the undisputed champion. The question you ask yourself is, would Lomachenko be the undisputed champion had he beat Teofimo Lopez? That's the question you ask yourself. You know? Would he be that guy? Helenius too. That would be a good one. I would give it to Helenius though. I think he just has his number because he now knows he can knock him out. Kaunaki is a guy that he'll fight you. He'll fight you for tooth and nail, but if you catch him, he's over with. But I think he doesn't know. I don't think he really has any idea of what he can stand and what he can't. Because if you notice, he was constantly trying to knock out Helenius until he got caught. So he ran into shit. He's exactly what Tank Davis said about Ryan Garcia. You know, remember he just said, oh, he'll run right into punches. That's what Kaunaki does. Just got in from a workout. What's going on, family? Much love to all. Burley Dixon in the building. Counterpunch to you. But no, I think Teofimo, if he wants to silence critics, he should understand Mauricio dropped the ball. Mauricio tried some slick shit. Mauricio tried that as a way of protecting certain fighters. Well, it's not the case anymore. I get that, but is he paying any sanctioning fees for being a franchise champion? See, if he's not, that's a belt kind of like the Ring magazine. You don't have to pay anything on it. So for that reason, they're not even trying to look at that as a legitimate belt. Mauricio would just use that as a tactic. But knowing Mauricio, you're paying something for that franchise belt. You're paying something for allowing to duck mandatories, because that's all it really means. Because especially if you can't use it or lose it, rather. So I don't really know, man. I think Devin Haney, because see, here's the kicker. All the other sanctioning bodies don't look at the franchise belt as anything. So it's up to Teofimo. The belts that he has, they don't even recognize him as that champion. You know what I mean? The sanctioning bodies, and he's the belt holder, but they don't see him as the WBC belt holder. And it goes back to Mauricio. But this is the solution for it. They need to fight. No ifs and buts about it. Teofimo has been tested. Ryan Garcia has been tested. But a test don't last but only so long. You know what I mean? And then let's look at Teofimo Lopez and what he said about Lomachenko for the rematch. He said he's going to be a dick. Okay? Well, he has every right to be, but at the end of the day, if you guys think about it, it was all because of Lomachenko and the way he acted, and the action that he put behind not putting a contract or a rematch clause in the contract. So, you know, but it's going to be people that think that way. They're going to think that, hey, why don't you fight him again? But I mean, but for the most part, that was very, very stupid. It was stupid. Well, Philip, if he'll beat him again, that means it shouldn't be a problem. You know what I mean? If this is like a Chocolatito versus Rondansai, right? If this is another one of those fights, okay, let's see it. And I guarantee you, if Teofimo Lopez puts the nails in the coffin of Loma by beating Loma or just knocking Loma out or something crazy like that, his stock will rise a lot more than it is now. See, now all he is a person that decides not to fight a guy because that guy didn't put a contract in the clause, but he's overlooking something due to his pride by making that decision. He's looking at a bigger payday. He ain't gonna get that shit with anybody else. Let's be real. Who is he gonna fight at 135? Maybe Tank. Maybe Tank. But you see Tank fighting Teofimo Lopez? He ain't even been tested yet. Let's just be real. Yeah, I don't see that fight happening. The closest you're going to get to see a Teofimo Lopez versus Tank Davis is watching them guys spar when they sparred. That's the closest you're gonna get. You're not gonna get a Teofimo Lopez Tank Davis fight. As much as I want to see that fight, it's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen. If he was able to duck Loma, how the fuck is Teofimo Lopez gonna fight him? He didn't want to fight he didn't want to fight Loma, and Loma was with Top Rank. So it's Teofimo, right? That fight, that's not gonna happen. Tank beats them all. I think Teofimo gives him probably. I think Teofimo has the skills to beat Tank. He's not a Santa Cruz. He's not a fucking lightweight like lightweight. He's not a featherweight, or a smaller dude. Okay, he's not one of those cats. Devin beats them all. See, Devin beats them all. Tank beats them all. See, look, that's why all of them need to fight. And you'll be surprised to see who comes out the victor. And it might not be any of them. Run a cool dude, Counterpunch to you. They're fans of his YouTube channel. Well, that's all right, because what's happening now? YouTubers are fighting. So that's why do you think Ryan Garcia hangs around Logan Paul and them? Because he knows where the money comes in. That's where Ryan's money comes from, really. He's getting a check, a nice lump sum, a check here and there. But his money, his constant money is coming from YouTube and social media platforms. So yeah, that's exactly what's happening with Ryan Garcia. He's just blessed with that fame. He has that platform. So it is what it is. Ozzy Smith, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Yeah, I was wondering how everything was going with you, man. I hope all is well. Okay, I'm gonna park right here. Yeah. Best life, Counterpunch to you. Aubrey, what's up, Kurt? Watching you from South Africa. South Africa in the house. Ryan Garcia's fans don't even know who Haney was when Haney was ringside. Shameful. Slotello presents. They ain't gonna know. They're not even, like you're saying, they're not fans of the sport. They're fans of him. Which, in these day and age, does it really matter? I think there's a lot of people like that. I think Deontay Wilder has a lot of people that follow him and what's going on with him. See, understand, Glovegate was bigger than Wilder. It was bigger than Wilder. So it is what it is. And that's real talk. Glovegate was bigger than Wilder. To this day was the biggest thing that Wilder ever, because they went viral, those type of things. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same as the money he made with those type of things. That's why I think the more buzz around these fighters, the more things that people talk about, infamous, famous, it doesn't matter. At the same time, they're still being talked about. It's still a platform. It's still a following. They don't give a shit. Dion W. I think Devin Haney can outbox all of them and get the decision, but I think Shakur Stevenson is the only one that can beat Devin once he moves up to 135. That may be right. The more I look at Devin Haney, and if I can compare him to someone, and I look at Ryan Garcia, right? I look at Oscar De La Hoya, and I look at Shane Mosley. I mean, a young, fresh, unbeaten Shane Mosley. See, at 135, Shane Mosley was probably the best lightweight ever. Ever. Nobody could beat that cat. Nobody was as fast. Nobody was that way. One minute, guys. I'm robbing another bank. Excuse me. Now I'm getting in my car. Upside down. Somebody said earlier that Canelo dropped the WBC belt. Yeah, he dropped the middleweight belt. You know, he's trying to go up to 168. But I mean, that's nothing new to me. That's why I really didn't make a video of it, because it's like, that's the same shit he did before. You know, I mean, he's done that at the middleweight division. He's dropped the WBC belt and gave it to Golovkin. You guys remember that? Because he didn't want to be rushed into fighting Golovkin. Then a year later, he fought Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? You can't make this shit up. Comatose C, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. And he struggled with a prehistoric Gamboa, respected his punches too highly. Well, I mean, it's Gamboa, though. People act like Gamboa was this washed up fucking guy. He was injured when he fought Tank Davis, even though Tank Davis was the favorite due to the fact that of the age difference. I mean, if you look at, what was it, 25 to 38, he could have had fucking Tank Davis. Tank Davis could have been his little bastard son. You know what I'm saying? So the age was there, definitely a factor. Then he was injured. You seen how that dude's leg was all fucked up, you know? Now, Gamboa was the shit back in the day. People forgot that. Yeah, he washed Gamboa, but look, it took him 12 rounds too. So none of those guys really have nothing to parade about. They should have got Gamboa out of there if Gamboa was just this fucking terrible or whatever. If he was this bad of a fighter, they should have been got him out of the door. Let's get this gatekeeper out. Let's kick his ass and take the key from him, right? Beat him up, send him away from the gate. Take his job. People also say AJ struggled versus Takam just because it went 10 rounds. AJ beat him up for 10 rounds. Well, I mean, AJ got special kind of haters, though. And I don't really understand that shit. I guess he's too successful. And I think people hate people that are successful, especially if you're a negative person. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty much how I sum that up. When you're dealing with people that are just negative. It is what it is. You know? Being negative. One moment, guys. You leave your phone in your car, you're gonna come back and that phone's gonna be gone. Cocky is sexy sometimes. AJ is hard to hate, in my opinion. Well, I mean, that just shows you, though. That just shows you people are looking for reasons to hate certain people. For shit that probably don't have anything to do with him. He's just too successful. X-Ace99X, Counterpunch to you. Walter twerks for $1 bills. This guy's on Wilder. It's Wilder hour. Wilder hour. Damn Wilders. Borders more like it. Billy Joe versus Boo Boo. The winner gets Canelo. That would be good. You know, but I think those guys end up fighting each other a few times. That would be a good fight too. I was really bummed out when that fight didn't happen. I was, because it's like those guys were talking shit, selling the fight, and nasal drip spray. This shit didn't happen because of some fucking nasal drip spray. Okay, there we go. Who the man? Kurt's the man. Sami Ali Counterpunch to you, sir. The place to be. Bars. T.O. gets real excuses when Devin comes up. He needs to fight those guys. He really does. Like, honestly. I have a splitting headache. Wilder is on the prisoner part of boxing now. Do you guys take BC? I take these here and there. I'm the man. My dog told me that after I gave him some fried chicken. The only realist in the USA is Kurt. Damn, I'm the only one. I know it's not healthy, but it helps with the BC powder, dissolves it faster. I don't know. Yeah, it's not good at all. Shit sucks, actually. What is BC? It's like cocaine, dude. Nah, it's actually like it's like aspirin. It's like very strong aspirin, but it's already crushed up, so it dissolves faster, so it gets your bloodstream quicker. So if you have a headache, neck pain, back pain, stuff like that, it's good to take. And then it takes it out like that mostly, you know. I really need to switch to CBD, which I do have some CBD oil, but it is what it is. My dad takes BC sometimes for headaches. Yeah. I like the green kind because it's like it has the arthritis shit in it. That's all it is crushed aspirin, though, honestly. Kurt, I know casuals that hate AJ and they don't even know his accomplishments. Is it the looks that women like or the money? I guess both. Big buff motherfucker with money. You like, you know what I mean? I mean, it's like, I prefer cocaine for headaches, Counterpunch. Yeah, it won't be the only problem you have, though. Ryan versus the monster. How are you driving at the same time, bro? I'm baffled. Easy. It's easy, man. It's called multitasking, bro. I'm not holding the fucking thing. It's hands-free. You know what I mean? I'm seeing the, I'm looking here and there. I'm paying attention to the road. Mark Purtle. What's up, brother? Scotland in the house. Counterpunch to you. Dragon leg. I don't really know. I mean, I haven't tried it a lot. I know I had it in like the liquid form. You rub it, it like tingles, but it ain't like strong enough. Like, I don't know. I'm a bad sleeper, so I sleep bad. Maybe I just need another fucking pillow, you know? You know what I mean? But yeah, but back to Teofimo Lopez, man. It's, to me, if he's not gonna fight Lomachenko again for the dollars, if he's not gonna do it for the dollars, and you know, it's hard trying to. He's like, yeah, I can beat him. I can do this. I can do that. But in hindsight, it's like, you know, Airzism, Counterpunch to you. I look at it and I'm like, well, I think that a lot of people are going to think he just got lucky, which, looking at the fight, you can clearly see he didn't do it. But, you know, especially the Loma fans. Box Report TV, Counterpunch to you. Sami Ali, Lomachenko has a good chance of fighting. See, if I'm Teofimo, it kind of goes like, I know it was nasty or whatever, or Teofimo felt disrespected, or Teofimo Sr. felt he was disrespected. I get that. But I mean, your legacy starts with that. You beat Comey, right? You got that belt, and you unified that title. Mauricio Suleiman dropped the ball, which gave another fighter another belt, which was the WBC. You beat Lomachenko, and you don't want to give him a rematch. You don't want to fight him again. Which, that would be cool only if he was fighting someone that people wanted to see. Like, let me ask you guys a question. Who would you want to see Teofimo Lopez fight? Well, that's the thing, though. You see what you said? I mean, Lomachenko fought the last part of that fight like he really wanted to win. He didn't fight in the early beginning, and he should have. He should have came on. But obviously it was something that was bothering him. But let's look at it this way. Let's play devil's advocate, right? Loma versus Shakur. I get that. But it's like, almost like, aha, I gotta win. Scorecards were fucked up, you know? And they were fucked up. Now I'm not gonna fight him no more because he didn't put a contract in. But they're offering you more money. Lopez versus Tank, that's the fight I wanna see. But I also wanna see Lomachenko fight Tank. And knowing Mayweather, if Mayweather is a guy that thinks that Loma has missed any type of steps because Teofimo beat him, I see Mayweather finally letting Tank go in there and fight Loma. Now, that's the fight I wanted to see because that's the fight that I've been wanting to see. No, I don't want Teo to die. I don't want him to die. How will he die? Fighting Tank? No. I think Actually, I think he's probably the only person that would beat Tank, because I think Tank would knock out somebody like Ryan Garcia. He's just too strong. You know what I mean? He'll eventually catch Ryan Garcia. He'll eventually catch Ryan Garcia and put him to sleep. You know, because he's gonna land that bomb. This ain't Luke Campbell. Okay? He's gonna land something that's gonna hurt Ryan. If he dies, he dies. Phil. But, you know, but Ryan, I see Ryan and Devin, and I think this is like 2000 all over again. You know what I mean? I just think it's going to start earlier. They don't have to be welterweights. And for the record, I think Devin Haney and the lightweights that we're looking at right now are going to be the future welterweight stars. That's my prediction right now. I just think it's happening earlier. They might not even fight now, guys. Understand that. Those guys may not even fight at lightweight yet. Just think of it. Oscar De La Hoya, Shane Mosley, Floyd Mayweather. All those guys were at lightweight once upon a time, but they really didn't fight until they got to the welterweight division. Yep, you said that last night. Like mines, Lady Sean, done dim season. You know? History repeats itself. History repeats itself, especially when it comes to formation and progression. And I think Devin Haney's going to fight. Look at this guy. You go ahead there, fella. Do you think Floyd believes in Tank? I don't think Floyd cares. You know what I mean? He believes that he can make Tank whatever the fuck he wants to make Tank. But believe in him, I don't think he has to worry about believing in him, because he won't test him, if that makes sense. You know what? I think Ryan's gonna smoke fucking Rolly. But you know what? Rolly would be that guy because he is hard hitting. He is a hard hitting guy. He can thump. But Rolly's gonna get his ass whooped if he don't knock out Ryan. I would like to see that fight. I think that would be a good fight if Ryan can't get what he wants, and I know he won't get what he wants. Mo murder. Murder. If Ryan lands that left hook first, it could definitely be over too, bro. Yeah, that's right. But something tells me Tank is a little tougher. And I've always said it. Tank shouldn't be fighting in... he's going to always be short. But I don't think he should be fighting in the lightweight division. Floyd will not try Tank with Devin. Floyd would not try Tank with anybody besides somebody that they think is over the hill. Okay? That's real. That's why they put him in there with Gamboa. Why do you think that is? Because Gamboa was starched. He was an easy pick'ems. He was a guy that was less risk. He's old. He's long in the tooth. Did you hear about Trevor Bryan and Char fighting? Should be interesting. Thoughts? I don't have any right now, honestly. Like jam roly-polies. Gary Russell or Loma, great shout. I mean, Gary Russell, he wanted to fight. Gary Russell needs to fight some fucking body. If he's going to be in that mix and he's going to throw himself in there, stop bullshitting, sign the contract, and fight somebody. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if no contracts get signed, it's going to come off as though Gary Russell Jr. just talking shit. He doesn't want to, you know, that's just the clout chase. I want to fight this guy. I want to fight that guy. Hey, that guy's fight was trash. I'm not impressed. this, that, and the other. Well, you're clout chasing because you ain't fought no fucking body since Loma. Then how did that do you? I don't think Gary Russell's done, but he will be done if he doesn't stop. If he doesn't stop the talking and start fighting, start signing contracts. You fight once a year, so you know he ain't. His shit ain't. I mean, I don't want to be looking in the man's pockets, but you fight once a year for 5 years. Shit, you better be frugal. You better be like Bernard Hopkins. You better be frugal with your money. You know what I mean? What do I think about Broner's return? I think Broner. See, Broner's done this again and again. Broner says all the good shit. He's a salesman. He has personality. You like him or love him or hate him. You know, all that shit. But when he gets out there and he gets with somebody that's on that elite level, don't get me wrong, he'll beat the shit out of a C- fighter, C+, even B-, maybe. But when he gets to B+, A- fighters, he clams up. He's tough. You ever seen fucking Adrian Broner knocked out? No. You never seen him knocked out. You know what I'm saying? You never seen him knocked out. So yeah, am I glad to see him back? Yeah, I love Adrian Broner. Because Adrian Broner's going to say some shit only Adrian Broner would say. Not Floyd Mayweather. Not anyone else. Only him. No, I miss him in the sport. You remember when he lost to Pacquiao? Yeah, bring your motherfucking ass over here, Jim Gray. I got something to say to you. I beat that boy. You know I beat that boy. I beat him. You know, the funny shit about that is you can tell Adrian Broner was mad the way he was. Like he had his hips cocked. Like he was like like some shit a little kid would do. Or a flamboyant little gay guy or some shit. He was yeah, bring your ass over here. Yeah. That shit was funny. If you go back and you look at Adrian Broner, he was pissed. They just want to get that money. Him and Floyd, they just want to get that money. I had him. Yeah. But look, how many losses Adrian Broner got? 4, 5? Right? 3, 4? Okay. He got beat by Maidana, Pacquiao, Mikey Garcia. He had a draw with their, what's his name? Jesse Vargas. Who else? 4. So he has 4 in a draw. Look, Tank is like 5'6". He's like Manny Pacquiao's height. Kurt, what do you think about T.O. can do at 140? Hey, we'll see. You know, I mean, I would want him to personally fight someone like Regis Prograis. I think that would be the fight he needs to take. And I think that would be a tough fight. So if he's not going to do anything at lightweight, leave the division. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell Loma, oh, you should go to 130. Like, yo, you leave the division. You've done everything you're going to do. You claim to be the undisputed champion of the world. You see he's not calling out anybody, but he's comparing himself to other fighters that didn't do what he did. Okay, cool. Well, beat them motherfuckers too. Beat them too. That's how you do that. If that's the case, well, cool. Okay, they didn't do what you did. You're 23 years of age. I agree. No one has done what Teofimo's done at 23 years of age. None of them. Right? Right? Okay. Beat them too. Next phase. Don't get complacent. Be more like AJ. AJ's like, okay, yeah, I got the IBF. Now it's time to move on. Now I want the WBO. You know what I'm saying? I want the WBA. Okay, cool. Now I'm after the IBF. I get the IBF. Cool. It ain't over. Now I want the WBO. Now I get the WBO. Now I want the WBC. You see what I'm saying? Like, Teofimo should have that thing, that kind of attitude. Even though he has a franchise belt, but the sanctioning body president has declared the franchise championship belt over the Super WBC. But my argument is, you cannot by some guy's standards, make a belt less significant just because you make another fucking belt. Does that make sense? I mean, maybe I'm off belt. And it's like, hey, we made this new belt, so it's almost like this. It's almost like having a car, right? And that car's the shit. You got a 2019. Well, you know what? We made a 2021, so we're going to give you the 2019. So the 2019 doesn't mean much anymore. But that's not even really a good analogy, because belts supposed to be defended because of what they already possess, the popularity, the pride, right, of holding that belt. It's supposed to mean something, the prestige of the belt, right? The WBC is supposed to be the prestige. An old dumb dickhead made another whole nother belt that made his belt less significant, you know, but he wants to claim that it's not. Another franchise champion. He's the franchise champion. Devin Haney is the WBC champion. And that's what we have here. Man, get the fuck out of here. Mauricio's a pain in the ass. I'll tell you that. He's a pain in the ass. You know? And what he's going to fuck around and do, keep making belts. Mayan belts, diamond belts, franchise belts, Black Lives Matter belts. Keep making these fucking belts. Then what's going to happen, they're going to go, those belts on the WBC are going to go out like comic books did. You guys remember comic books, the comic book industry? Fucking comic books that, you know, you had like Spawn, Spider-Man 1, X-Men 1, Thing 1, right? All these number ones. And then what they start doing, they started making more of the same shit. Oh, well, you know what? This is one. No, Black Lives Matter belt. That's real. That's a belt. This motherfucker made a belt. The WBC done that. And he done that shit. This is the diamond belt. This is the Mayan belt. Shit, you got belts all over the place. And he made another one. I'm broke. I need to make another belt for my children's education. And I need to buy another yacht. So I'm going to fight these guys for this belt. I think this belt, the Chicano versus Mexicano belt. What the fuck did you say? The Chicano versus Mexicano belt. I think that's a very important belt. Fuck out of here, man. You're full of shit. They've been talking to him like as a king. I mean, they're trying to fill out, you know, what, and a lot of channels are trying to decipher who they should support. You know what I mean? And then also, if you notice, the channels now talk more about Errol Spence than any other channels. You know what I mean? Because that's, you know, that's that next fighter. That's that next. See, they don't know the fate. They don't know the future, rather, of Wilder. So they don't talk about him as much. Now, they would talk about Tyson Fury. But now it's mostly about Errol Spence and how Errol Spence is better than Terrence Crawford, or he's more marketable, or he's more marketable than Anthony Joshua. I know you guys heard that shit. You know, Errol Spence makes more money than Anthony Joshua and all. You know, I'm like, dude, y'all are tripping. But it just shows you how quick they leave a fighter when they're supposed to be for that fighter. You know what I mean? It's not really he's the new Wilder because he's very talented. It's just the way they view him. They're gonna eat him up tabloid-wise like a piece of fucking meat. Okay, that's what they do. You know, that he's an undefeated fighter. They're looking for the next Floyd. They're looking for the next example guy that they can cling to. They want the interviews. You know, so then the narrative start. Oh, he makes more money than AJ. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, they hate AJ because Eddie Hearn. You know, they hate Eddie Hearn, and I don't know why they hate Eddie Hearn. It's crazy. I've seen some people have Spence number one pound for pound. Okay, you beat Danny Garcia, which who is Danny Garcia beat? That was elite. Let's just be real now. Now he's pound for pound. Get the fuck out of here. Spence claims PBC Fox all day, then he shows up at a fucking DAZN fight card talking about we can fight Canelo right now. I'm like, yeah, okay. You know? Well, yeah, he's dodging Crawford, but see, it's fucked up for Crawford because Crawford don't really have a foundation no more. You know, he's lost respect from his promotional company. And it's like, that's sad. Bob Arum should let him go, but that's Bob. Look how Bob talks shit about Andy Ruiz. Therefore, he talks shit about AJ. At least he's consistent. See, he has to talk shit about about AJ because he talks shit about Andy Ruiz. Sammy, look. He's not gonna retire. That's all he knows. That's all Bob Arum knew since the 60s. It's made him a lot of money seeing people beat each other brains out for fucking 7 decades. Think about it. For 7 decades, the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 10s, 20s, 7 decades. 7 decades he's been doing this same shit. He don't know how to do anything else. I don't care. White ain't ducking smoke. Dragon leg. Spence only 2 feet tall compared to Wilder. Counterpunch to you. You Mr. Kurt. One question for you. Have you seen the Hamza Shiraz? And if you did, what did you think of him? I don't know who that is. He was on the Dubois versus Joyce undercard a couple of days. Yeah. I've seen him. Big black fighter, tough guy. He's gonna be the shit too. You better watch out. Money man. Oh, he's not ducking Crawford. He just got dropped by Mean Machine. That's true. He did get dropped by a Mean Machine. That doesn't mean Errol Spence ain't ducking him. Okay, let me ask you guys another question. Who is the last guy that Errol Spence wanted to fight that was undefeated? You know what I'm saying? Like, that tells you everything. You remember when Errol Spence wanted to fight Keith Thurman for the longest? But that was a very long time ago, wasn't it? You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence didn't want to fight anyone undefeated. He didn't want to fight those guys. When he fought Danny Garcia, he was beaten twice, right? When he fought Sean Porter, he was beaten twice. Who else did he fight? When he fought Kell Brook, he was already beaten. You know? But I want to give Errol Spence the benefit of the doubt, though, because I think he was actually hungry for that Brook fight. You know what I mean? It's not his fault that Brook came in with a fucking broke face. That wasn't his fault. And it also ain't his fault that he helped break his other part of his face. That ain't his fault either, right? He was just doing his damn job. But other than that, Errol Spence has not really been that guy. The only person that he's targeted was Keith Thurman. He fought everybody else, but it took forever for someone else to fight him. So now for that reason, I agree with Timothy Bradley. There's no guarantee that Terrence Crawford goes over there and gets an Errol Spence fight. Like all these dumbass channels saying, oh, well, he signed with Bob Arum, this, that, and the other. Well, I mean, I don't think it was a good idea to sign with Bob Arum, but I know they're trying to throw that narrative. Okay, he's white. Okay, I get it. But at the same time, look at Errol Spence. He waited 2 fucking years to fight Sean Porter. He fought Sean Porter. When did he fight Sean Porter, guy? This just turned 21. He fought him in 19, right? Late 19. When did he fight Kell Brook? Think about it. It took him 2 fucking years to get a Sean Porter fight. That's a long time. He should have fought, according to these channels that claim that Crawford should have went over to the PBC, right? If Al Heyman would have waited the same amount of time for Terrence Crawford as he was for Errol Spence, he would be 34 years old or 35 before he even fights Errol Spence. And that more than likely happen. Because Al Heyman is the kind of guy that wants your shit to build. He ain't caring about the talent. He cares about numbers. And I don't think he would give a shit about the talent of Crawford like he would care about Errol Spence. Because he knows he has his teeth synced in Errol Spence. When those fighters start talking about, oh, I'm not fighting on I'm not fighting on ESPN at all. Yeah, he has you. He has you mentally. Think about fuck Angel Garcia. I give my life for Al Heyman. I give my life for Al Heyman. I'm like, damn, dude, really? You give your life for Al Heyman? Damn, he ain't Jesus, motherfucker. I don't know what I'm saying? Toby Barlett, counterpunch to you. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude, yeah, because he has, but he ain't gonna have nobody like Crawford. Because Crawford ain't gonna go with he ain't gonna get with the program. Crawford just wants to fight the best. You know what I'm saying? That's why Crawford has more of a Roy Jones Jr. mentality. He wants to be the best in the weight division. He doesn't give a shit about the politics. You know what I'm saying? But Errol Spence does. If he, you know what I'm saying? You can't say he don't care about the politics saying some shit I'll never fight on ESPN. The fuck are you really trying to say? You don't want ESPN's money? So it ain't even about the money, it's about the network you're talking about? Who the fuck made you partner in a network? Nobody. It's just some shit you was preached to. Going over there, I ain't fighting. Oh, but you, Jim Brown, counterpunching you. But you will take a fucking DAZN deal with Canelo, wouldn't you? That's crazy. And you know the irony of all that shit. Let's say he wants that fight with Canelo. And then Canelo signs with Eddie Hearn. Then he'll be fucking with Eddie Hearn. You know? That's some shit. Dragon leg. Has to be PBC for the fight to happen. Now he's saying he thinks Crawford should have been with PBC. Wouldn't help make the fight. No, it wouldn't. And he was told he was told the fighters that he would fight, and I'd be damned he didn't fight every one of them. Remember he said Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao. He's like, well, he didn't say my name. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He's not in the plan. So Terrence Crawford going over there, no, dude, with his pants down, fuck that. You know? Terrence Crawford should hang around Floyd. Funny to say that. Because Floyd knows. Floyd fucking knows. He knows, like, hey, this is what it is. Yeah, they're not trying to promote Crawford. Yeah. You know something? Then this is fucked up. Crawford should just retire. Crawford should do a Barry Sanders and say, you know what? Fuck you guys. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants Wilder to retire. No. Wilder shouldn't retire. Wilder should fight 5-6 more times before he even think about retirement. So we can see what the fuck he was capable of by fighting opposition. So because all we really knew was fighting higher opposition gave him problems or he got beat. But Crawford, nah, if I'm Crawford, I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna retire. I'm costing you money. I'm gonna retire from the sport of boxing. What the fuck can you do about it? You know? Now he could retire and guess what, come back a year later, sign another contract with someone else like Golden Boy or some shit. Let him get up under Bernard the Executioner Hopkins and Oscar De La Hoya. Those cats. Yeah, Bud is a great fighter. He's a special fighter. But it's like this. It's like, dude, you can't wait around for these fucking clowns at PBC. Because they got a fucking cult over there. Yeah, they got a cult over there. They a cult mindset. Carlos, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Man, just getting off work, making it do what it do. You know, and then Crawford, I don't want Crawford to go out like Erislandy Lara. You know what I mean? And Crawford's a better fighter than Lara. I don't know about a better boxer, but he's a better fighter. See, Crawford can fight, switch hit, he can box, he can fight. You know, he gives you different dynamics. Whereas Lada's a southpaw and he's tricky and he's long armed and all that shit. But at this point, what they're going to do to Lada is going to be sad. Because the next fight Lada's going to fight, if it's someone that's known like Jermell or something, he's going to get beat. Yeah, he beat Canelo, but that shit was a long time ago. Dude, that was fucking 7 years ago. Well, 6.5. Because he fought him in July, right? July 12th, 2014. That's when Lara fought Canelo. But guess what? You know, at the end of the day, you have a guy that in Lara stayed at 154, and he got older. He should have been fighting Danny Jacobs at middleweight, Golovkin, those guys. You know, he wanted a Canelo rematch, but anybody that fights Canelo should understand, if you fight Canelo, and see, Golovkin got off easy. He got that draw, and people don't understand. Don't be mad. Understand the politics of the game. The politics of the game are simple. You don't beat Canelo on points. That ain't gonna happen. It's boxing. Okay, it ain't playing fucking NBA, right? The points you don't get made by making a shot. You get it's more political than anything. You follow the money, most importantly. Man down promotions. More like stand down promotions, the way he's saying he's staying in his seat when it's supposed to be strap season. Yeah, he's not gonna do that. Yeah, Bud and Ugas is a good fight. That is a good fight. Very good fight. You know, Ugas Spence is a good fight. Now, Spence said he would fight Ugas, but look, that's another problem, though. If Earl Spence, the unified champion of the world, the unified welterweight champion of the world, takes on the WBA regular welterweight champion, a Cuban named Yordenis Ugas, do you think, and those guys fought, and that shit was close, you think Ugas is going to win the decision? No, he won't. That will not be the case. You know why I know that? They didn't give it to him when he beat fucking Sean Porter. Ugas beat Sean Porter. You go back and watch that fight, he beat Sean Porter. Ugas did something to Sean Porter that Sean Porter didn't even understand. Sean Porter's that guy that crowds you, he beats you up, he roughs you up, okay? He smothers you, you know, and at times he smothers his own progress by being too close, but that's what he does. If you look at Ugas Porter, Ugas was able to stalk Sean Porter to the point he couldn't even be himself. Then he drops him and they call it a slip. The same punch Fury hit Wilder with was the same punch that Ugas hit Sean Porter with, and he went down. And they robbed that man. You know, and you look, you know, Al Heyman, he's not heartless. This is what Al did. Al was like, well, I know you really beat Sean Porter, kid. He's sitting back. I know you really beat him. But I'm going to give you a belt. I'm going to give you an opportunity. You just keep winning. You don't understand the name of the game. Don't get out of here. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, he was robbed. And it's funny, Spence brought that up. Yo, everybody think Ugas beat you. That was funny. Everybody think Ugas beat you, really? No, but seriously, I mean, he knew. And then I honestly thought, because Ugas fought also, He fought on the undercard of Pacquiao Thurman, and then he beat the shit out of whatchamacallit. You know what I mean? Karma Serene, counterpunch to you. ATX's finest, right? Yeah, I mean he did that shit. He Al Heyman knew that. But he knew it was a bigger fight brewing between Spence and Porter, because if Porter gets beat by Ugas, then he can't have the Porter Spence fight, and then Spence can't expand his popularity. You know what I'm saying? So he needed that. He ain't the only one though. Look at it this way: Lada lost to Canelo because Canelo was going to fight Cotto. Okay, Cotto already fucked up by losing the Trout, so they put Trout in there with Canelo. That wasn't good enough because they still needed that revenue. They needed that guy that was coming out that was the A side at the time. They needed Cotto to build Canelo's profile. They need that Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry. They couldn't have that. Mexico and Cuba, no, that's not a big enough rivalry. Lara wasn't big enough. He doesn't have a professional minded country behind him. They're a bunch of communists, so they think fuck the professionals. We take all your shit, all that dumb shit. But anyway, no, it wasn't in Lada's favor. Lada was just going to take an L. That's what he did. But Oscar De La Hoya did that for Canelo because he knew if Canelo loses, he's going to actually win. Right? It's like one of my favorite films, White Man Can't Jump, right? Rosie Perez. It was a scene, Rosie Perez and Woody Harrelson, right? And she says this, it was kind of weird, but it makes sense in this. She says, when you lose, you really win. When you win, you really lose. And then you win or lose, you really tie. But then when you tie, you really win or lose. You know what I mean? So it's one of those situations. So Al Heyman knew. He knew because you think about it, all those fighters that got beat. Lada, he got $1 million. Think about it. He got $1 million each fight for the next 6-7 fights. That's why Lada stood there, because Lada was like, shit, I'm making $200,000-$300,000. I make a cool $1 million by fighting Canelo. I know I beat the motherfucker, but I'm a millionaire now. And every fight after that, I could see that then. Al Heyman sitting there. Lara, I know you beat him. I know you beat him. So you know what I'm going to do for you? You're some bullshit. But I'm going to do this for you. You going to get $1 million every fight, regardless of how hard or how easy. Gonna get out of here. And look, Lada got a cool $1 million each fight. He got $1 million to fight Delvin Rodriguez. Okay. Yeah, he had this. He has that cigar and shit. All those rich kingpin, Suge Knight like motherfuckers got cigars. They all smoke them. They all smoke them and shit. They all smoke them. Like that's their shit. They smoke cigars, and like, because it's a form, it's a gesture of victory and supremacy. Laura, you got him. You got that redhead motherfucker, but they robbed you. I got something special for you this time. I like your wife too. You did a good choice with that. We're gonna take care of you. The boss of bosses. Yep. And that's exactly what it is. And that's what it was. But Lotta, he had, he's good. He makes his money for his fights. Now I know that Goucher fight stunk up everything. I went to that fight live, and that fight, like, people booed to the point where, because they just watched Lotta outbox this guy, and then he got a knockdown, I think, in the seventh round, but that wasn't enough. Because Lotta's not giving anyone shit. He's not going to throw 5 or 6 punches to show you anything for any reason. He's going to box a motherfucker. He's just going to sit there, oh, 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 sit there, and then he's landing, but it's like, dude, it's like watching a fucking tennis match between two 80-year-old people. you know, money man. Ortiz still beats White. That's the fight I gotta see. That's the fight I gotta see. See that type of shit. Now, what I want to see, I would be more excited to see Ortiz versus White twice. Why? Because I think more fighters have lost the plot. You know what I mean? I think everyone has their rivals, and I think everyone wants to fight certain fighters to the point where they're not recognizing that, your pound of flesh, your true rival, your equal rival is right there in front of you. Fight that motherfucker. Look at Amir Khan and Kell Brook. Right? That fight should have happened years ago. But all these fucking people were worried about, all these guys were worried about other people. That's not how it's supposed to be. Like Dillian White and Luis Ortiz. I think those guys should have fought twice already. Did PBC try to sign AJ? Slotello presents yes and no. PBC, meaning Al Heyman, didn't. Lennox Lewis, because understand something, when you have a British fighter, you have to have a British representative. Okay? Like, for example, Frank Warren is the British representative for Tyson Fury, but then Bob Arum is his promoter over here, but they co-promote together, right? But he needed a British promoter first. Well, in AJ's case, Lennox Lewis was that guy. Lennox Lewis was that guy that wanted to bring, before AJ signed with anybody, before he signed with Matchroom Eddie and any of that. He invited him to Jamaica with his family, and he pitched him an idea of coming to America, pretty much modeling himself after, modeling AJ after himself. And he, wanted AJ to take that route. AJ didn't take that route. Lennox Lewis felt disrespected because, Lennox is like, dude, I'm the fucking undisputed champion of the world. Who the fuck are you to tell me or to decline my offer? Then you're going to go with someone else. I mean, no one really likes rejection. We just accept it. And I think that's what happened to Lennox Lewis. So when I also, more of that came from, I forget who, was it the Vlad Joshua fight? Joshua supposedly didn't allow him in the dressing room. So that was another fucking thing that, that was disrespectful for Lennox Lewis. And so, a lot of people don't like AJ because of some type of situation or encounter too. You know what I mean? Boxing Ego don't like him because his ass got copyright striked. People don't know that, but he did. He used some video of Anthony Joshua, which, Team Joshua saw that shit and they took it down. When you get shit taken down from YouTube, as you guys know, that shit it's especially if it's a strike, right? If it's a strike, they're going to take that shit down as a mark against your YouTube account due to the community guidelines or whatever. You get two more of them, bitches can shut your shit down altogether. So that's his problem with AJ. Blue Blood, he was doing an interview with him. They all run around with cameras and shit. And that's when AJ was in New York and they were bickering about that $50 million situation, right? And he was asking, well, he had the $50 million. The $50 million was there. Why did you take the $50 million? And he's just like, well, I don't think the money was there. Well, no, the money was there. It's $50 million. And AJ just walked off. So, That was his problem with you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people had that. And Lennox Lewis is no exception because Lennox Lewis is a public figure, is an ex-champion, an undisputed champion, a legend. And then he gets shut down by a younger guy that he wanted to mold and model after. Honestly, I think if you think more about it, I think Lennox Lewis decided to take Deontay Wilder under his wing because Deontay Wilder was more receptive and respectful, I guess, to his eyes than AJ was with him. So by default, he got with Deontay Wilder. I don't think Deontay Wilder was his first choice, though. I know for a fact it was Anthony Joshua's because he wanted Anthony Joshua to come up under his banner and then sign him with the PBC because that's what he did. But understand, AJ had a bigger, huger following, more respected following in the UK, which it ain't his fucking fault. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. And that's what it was. No filter boxing news. AJ is good, but has confidence issues. That sounds like Tyson Fury. That means Tyson Fury's doing his job. White isn't close to AJ. So here's the thing. White should make his own legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he fought. Look, White should have fought AJ in Wembley. That Jarrell Miller fight, obviously the fight wasn't meant to be, right? It wasn't fucking meant to be. So he should have fought AJ in Wembley. Instead of getting all fucking fat, eating chili cheese dogs and Philly cheese steaks and shit and all that, like he was doing Frito pies and shit. Because, Dillian White, if you notice, he gets fucking like out of shape when he gets out of the gym. Yeah, he trains like the Dickens when he's in there, but he gets fat as fuck too. You seen him when he fought Marius Walk. He looked like a black Michelin man with rolls and shit everywhere and tits. Charlie Torres. Appreciate you. I want you to learn something. I don't want you just guys to hear me talk. I want to educate you guys also. Is White starting to become a gatekeeper? No. Nah, it's too early for that shit. He just got knocked the fuck out. He has his second loss. Is he a Chisora? How many losses Chisora got? Fucking 7, 8, 9? Shit, that's it's safe to say, especially when you beat someone every so often. Like he knocked out David Price. He beat Carlos Takam. Those are the type of things that you can do when you're a gatekeeper, but you're still respected. If he's a gatekeeper, he's a respected one. Exactly. Sammy Ali, and you still respect him. You guys would write off Chisora. A lot of people would. There's just a lot of people, and understand, maybe, just maybe, Chisora was in there with a special fighter. He wasn't in there with a guy that was going to fold. You know what I'm saying? Like under pressure. Like people thought Usyk was going to get knocked out. I'm talking about Alexander Usyk. We should write off Chisora, and rightfully so. He literally loses all his big fights. I mean, does he? I'm not sure about fighting Chisora. Fury was cheated by Fury left glove. Well, here's the thing. I think it was him cheating, not cheated. Who does Joe Joyce fight? Any fucking body he wants. Anybody he wants to fight. I mean, see, here's the thing. Joe Joyce has proven everybody wrong, but he wasn't that guy that they pushed on in a rapid rate, obviously. but Triple D was. That's probably why he got beat. They threw him in there with Joe Joyce, thinking Joe Joyce is going to get knocked out. Ronald, what's up, Kurt? Keep up the great work. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, so I think Joe Joyce should fight someone. Definitely, like, I would love for him to fight like one of those PBC guys. Joe Joyce versus Charles Martin would be a good fight. All boxers have haters. Ain't that the truth? Okay, let's talk about Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez coming in with a fucking matchroom mask on. That's some funny shit. I know Oscar De La Hoya seen that shit. It made him want to relapse. It made him want to get on his phone and call somebody he has no business calling. Go to the ATM and fucking withdraw about 10 grand. You know what I mean? When he saw, come on, man, that wasn't even, I mean, it was a come on, matchroom mask. Why would he wear that shit? You know what I mean? Fucking Eddie Hearn have fucking Canelo practicing his English and shit. Now, Canelo, say I was born ready. I was born ready. Brilliant, lad. They're going to love you, old bloke. They're going to love you over there. They're going to think you're Irish. I thought he was Irish. That would be some shit. They got fucking Canelo. He fought in like the UK and got him to put on Irish boxing gloves with that red hair. Wouldn't that be some shit? Have him looking like fucking Mickey Ward in this fucking place. Looking like Mickey Ward's younger brother. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think that bothered Oscar, though, I think that bothered him. He just didn't say anything about it. Have Oscar back wearing fishnets. Yeah, he got it. See, you understand, though, man. I don't really like bringing that shit up because it's like what do you call it? What's his face? Rick James said this best. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. So, and if you've seen Oscar De La, in all those times he was fucked up out of his mind. So he probably gets to a point where, he just like loses it and shit. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he has to be. Aki is saying that Canelo is not a real Mexican. Man, Aki, I don't, I think he needs to be careful on what he calls real and ain't. All the fucking lies and tabloid bullshit that comes across that channel. But anyway, but I think he said that someone else said it, but I don't think that was true because there's no other sources saying that. Yo, Jones has 9 losses and no one says anything. You mean Roy Jones? Bullshit. Yeah, they do. Yes, they did. When Roy Jones was fighting, people were pleading, including me. They were pleading Roy to stop. Please stop. Because, Roy would win 1 fight, maybe 2, go in there with somebody, get knocked out. Come back, win 2 fights, 3 fights, go back in there, get knocked out. Then get knocked out. He was one of those guys. 9 losses? Roy Jones Jr. was so good, they had to give him a fucking loss because they couldn't take one from him. They had to give him one. Yeah, Mosley got his ass whooped a lot too. But, Mosley was another fighter that fought too long. And I think he fought too long because I think business-wise, he put his wife in charge of a lot of shit when his wife turned around and divorced his ass and took a lot of shit. And that's real. I think Mosley should have had a trustworthy accountant more so than a person that he felt that he could trust with all that shit. And you can't do that. Like if you get married, like for me, this is my personal opinion about business. Get someone that you're going to do business with that you don't fucking sleep with. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. It's not like it's not like, hey, let me do this, because you're putting too many eggs in one basket. You know, it's not like you can't find someone that you can trust. Find someone that you don't have to worry about. Oh shit, what if we fall out in this way? Then everything goes to shit. And that's what happened with Mosley. Yeah, I think he does have 6 losses. You know, I seen a Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas original poster. I'm gonna buy that bitch. I'm not gonna say where it's at because I don't want to come back and buy it. There's people selling those online for like freaking like 2,300, 3,600 bucks. Need to dedicate a chat to the infamous Richard Schaefer. Richard Schaefer. Gonna get old Canelo to fight in St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. Yo, Tony, that would be the shit though. Motherfuckers would be drunk drinking Guinness, singing old fucking Irish songs and shit. You know what I mean? Just ate an Irish breakfast. That's my boy, lad. Call him Shane. Fuck Saul. That's fucking Shane. Shane McAvery. He's Shane McAvery, damn you. He's a fucking ginger. He has Irish blood. He's tough as shit. He's Irish. He was in the wrong place. Someone stole him from here. That fucking cunt woman raised him with her own brown kids. Old Saul. Yeah. Old Saul. Old Saul. That's it. Old Saul. That's it. You'll see Spence with a Matchroom mask on soon. There's no telling. No telling. Irish sing about everything. The stub, their toe, they sing about it. No. Yeah, they fuck around and be hanging out with Scott Quigg and shit. Carl Frampton. You'll be hanging out with Carl Frampton and shit, drinking Guinness and shit. They'll have you know what? I think Canelo gets fucked up though, because I think TMZ saw him and he looked like he was a little tipsy. He looked like he was a little tipsy, like they had a little bit to drink, you know. But the weird thing about like Canelo though, Canelo probably has to, McNello. McNello, you fucking ginger, get over here. You fucking lush. Shit. Fucking look, I'm telling you. You know, they'll love him over there, you know. Yeah, but here's the thing about Canelo though. I don't think Canelo would do that. I don't think he would sell out, because since he does look so different and people don't really look at him, you know, probably called him Casper and all this shit, mayonnaise man and shit, you know, and especially in a country that for the most part, the stereotypical Mexican American male has brown skin, right? You know, I guess, Philip, probably not. You know, sound like a fucking pirate. A fucking Irish pirate. The Murphys. The fucking Irish warriors. We're Murphys. Nick Canelo Murphy. Yeah. He's Irish. But I think Canelo being from a place like that. No, I mean, I'm just drinking Coke, right? And it's like I haven't had anything to drink since New Year's, so, you know, for the record, you know what I mean. But I think Canelo is one of those guys that he has to be that Mexican guy. You know what I mean? Because because it's like he's not that ideal Mexican looking guy. So I think he has to stay like proud and Mexican and brown on the inside, kind of like Miklo Velka. Do you guys know who that is? Let me test you guys. Do you guys know who Miklo Velka is? Just from a show of yes and no, do you guys know who that is? Charlie Torres. You don't know who Miklo Velka is? Don't worry, I'll wait. No idea. No. You got fools in Mexico blacker than you. Well, yeah, you do have, a mixture of that, but I'm talking about like the masses. No, nobody knows. Nobody, don't Google it, damn it. Do not Google this shit. Do not leave this live stream to Google it. That's the problem with America and the world. We want to Google every fucking thing. Miklo Velka, right? Nobody knows. Does anyone know? No filter. He's still gonna fucking Google it. I already know. Yeah. He's already Googled it. Yeah. Already did. Too late, motherfucker. They got everything out there. Asians, blonde hair, blue eyes. Yeah, I mean, actually, they do. Because I dated a girl from Mexico. I want to say she was from Guadalajara. She was from a town not too far from that. And she just had like this red hair and shit and green eyes and shit, She was just this, whatever. But no. Philip, do you know who Miklo Velka is? That's Canelo in retrospect. You've dated everyone, you bloody whore. You fucking world traveling prick. You fucking prickster. Blood in, blood out. There you go. Now someone's coming with something. Now we go. The Martin 9400 Counterpunch to you. I don't know if you looked that shit up. Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. But that's who Miklo. Miklo was a yeah, he Googled it. No filter. Probably so. That motherfucker Googled it. But what the hell is slag? You slag. What does that mean? Oh, don't lie. Did you eat spaghetti with that? But yeah, Spaniard it is, Jay Barrientos. That's true. I mean, it's Mexican is actually a mixed person, which a lot of people don't understand that, don't really realize that. But Miklo was a character in a movie called Blood in, Blood Out. And he looked nothing like the ideal Mexican. You didn't hear of that, Philip. Look it up. Very good movie. He was played by an actor by the name of Damian Chapa. Damian Chapa, he had a lot of people in that show. It was a really good movie. Him, Benjamin Pratt. Who else was in that? That's Danny Trejo was in that. Danny Trejo, right? So, yeah, tres puntos ese. Yeah. So it was like a gang movie that was based off of how Mexican organized gangs in prison started, like the roots behind it. And a lot of it was like based on true stories, kind of like another version of American Me. Came out around the same time, but because you did have I don't know which one was more detailed or not. I think American Me maybe, but then you have like Tombstone, then you have Wyatt Earp, right? But Wyatt Earp sucked. Tombstone was the shit, right? With Doc Holliday and all that shit. Wyatt Earp, all those guys. Well, this was like that because it was two different stories that told pretty much what happened at that time, like I think it was from the late 60s, early 70s, early 80s, because it spanned like 3 decades or whatever. But the movie was fire. But you had a character named Miklo Velka, and he was for one, he was half white. His dad was a white cat, but then his mom was Chicana, right? So he looked like his dad, looked just like his dad, blue eyes and every fucking thing. But he was, Mexicano, spoke Spanish and every fucking thing. But he couldn't get the respect from the Mexicans because they looked at him. They called him milkweed, right? They call him milkweed. So he had to be harder and stuff like that, and he had to show his brownness from the inside, right? Because you surely couldn't see the shit from the outside. So I mean, that's pretty much how Canelo would be when they try to make him put on some Irish shit. So I'm saying all that to say that, you know what I mean? A Mexican remake of Colors, pretty much, yeah. That's an older film, Kurt. Was that 80s and 90s? That was in the early 90s, and it was very, very good though. Very good film. I'll believe that. Antonio Matthews, like I was saying, he I dated a chick that she looked like she could probably be related. I'm like, so it's a lot of people down there like that. You know what I mean? It's just a stereotype. Mostly, it's a stereotype. El gallo negro. Yeah, yeah. That's what was his name? Um, um, Paco. Yeah, Paco. Yeah, you need a shotgun to knock out Miller. Yeah, what's slag? What the hell is that? Yeah, he does like a big ass buffalo, don't he? Jarrell Miller. Alan Babick would broke up Jarrell Miller. Big Baby's jaw differently. Breakfast Club. Do you remember that film in the 80s? Yes, I do, Philip. Pretty good film too. John Hughes. Do you believe in ghosts? Mm, yes and no. I like Savage Babick. Yeah, he's cool, but somebody's gonna knock him out. But it's gonna be an exciting thing to see. Just like Kalnaki. Kalnaki got knocked out, and I knew Kalnaki would get knocked out. You know what I mean? I knew that, but it didn't really stop an exciting fight. Yeah. Savage Babick. He's gonna get knocked out too. Skrilla 50. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I knew his ass would get knocked out. He takes too many punches. Somebody's gonna nail him. That's why it made me laugh. He said he's gonna fight. He wants to fight Deontay Wilder. You remember that shit? And really, that was gonna be the fight that they probably were gonna dangle in front of Wilder because he was an undefeated fighter. He's beat Charles Martin. He's beat a few guys. He's beat Gerard, or whatever, Washington. He beat those guys. So, what's his name? Because they fought similar guys now. What's his the Olympian? The Aztec looking motherfucker. What's his name? Uh Chris Areola, right? So, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. Areola. So, they fought the similar guys. So that was gonna be fed to Wilder one day. And he was talking that shit like, I want to fight Wilder. I'm like, dude, sit down. Wilder's gonna knock you into next week. He's gonna catch you coming in with one of them fucking combos, those wide ass looping punches you like to throw, and he's gonna knock you out. Back to the Future. I like 2. That's my favorite. Wilder versus Parker would be good. That would be a very good fight too. That'll be a very good fight. Do you have any real life ghost stories? No, I don't. I don't think. Can AJ be better than Lennox Lewis? Kurt. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Because Lennox Lewis was a beast, dude. He was a fucking beast. Purple Rain. Purple fucking Rain. Oh, Ghost from Power. Yeah, yeah. AJ is already better than an overrated Lennox Lewis. I doubt that shit. I'm gonna disagree with you there, Solotello presents. Oh, nope. No, I ain't gonna say that shit. I'm not gonna say AJ is better than Lennox Lewis. That is solely your opinion, and you're entitled to it, dude. You are entitled to it. But I'm not gonna sign on off to that shit. No, Lennox Lewis is a totally different animal. You know, I mean, I know they're in different. Um, nah, he ain't better than LL. Oh, yeah. Lennox Lewis was just dude. No, Lennox Lewis is a motherfucker. And see, the difference between Lennox Lewis and AJ, they're two different bills of guys. Lennox Lewis, his weight, he didn't get his weight. His weight naturally came on him. Anthony Joshua had to bulk up to get that type of weight. That's why he gets tired quick. That's why his body type, he was always struggling with stamina. That's why look at when he fought AR, Andy Ruiz, right? He wasn't tired at all because he was at a weight that he can properly perform without getting tired of shit all the time. Lennox Lewis was naturally that big of a dude. He was that big. He was that way. You know what I mean? He was just this big fucking specimen of a man. He wasn't this guy that went to the gym and fucking just, I'm gonna change my physique. You know what I mean? Like Joshua did. That's what Joshua did. Joshua didn't have all that muscle mass. He conditioned himself to look a certain way. Okay? You know? But that it is what it is. You know what I mean? And that's why when he slimmed down, he didn't look all fucked up. Look what happened when AJ slimmed down. He didn't look all jacked up. You know what I mean? He didn't look fucked up. He was the way he was. There you go. Lennox Lewis was good. He just was not liked. Absolutely. Because I did not like him. I did not like him at all. There, I've said it. I've said it. Fuck it. Yeah, go watch. Look, go watch Lennox Lewis's fights. Yeah, Lennox Lewis, he broke my heart with David Tua because I love David Tua. David Tua was kind of like a modern day Pacquiao with his attitude. Now he would knock you out, but he was just nice guy. He was too fucking nice. When he fought Lennox Lewis, he was just this short ass, like a fucking little Wolverine fighting a big tall ass juggernaut. And Lennox Lewis was just fucking eating them to pieces. Right. Nobody really liked Lennox. He wasn't that likable of a dude. He had kind of like this mysterious ass thing. Pterodactyl, welcome to Counterpunch Silver. Welcome to the community. Go to the community and check out the hardcore content for members only. Stay tuned. Welcome, Tara. Appreciate you. What's up, Kurt? I finally catch you on live. Bobby Collins, Counterpunch to you, brother. I am here. Tua had a dangerous left hook. You know what? Pancho Villa. He had a badass right hand, too. The fucking crazy bastard found out he can punch with both hands. He can knock you out with both fucking hands. And he's done it. Look, David Tua's knocked out like guys like. Is your members group like an OnlyFans section? I don't think so. I mean, everyone can join. you know. But yeah, David Tua would knock out guys like Michael Moore. He knocked him out like 43 seconds. He knocked out John Ruiz in like 19 seconds or some silly shit like that. He hit John Ruiz so hard, this motherfucker. Shit was crazy. I mean, Tua did that type of shit. But he was a nice guy. He was just like this, I love you, man. This like nice Samoan, down to earth, kind of too soft, island kid from, from Samoa. When will you getting the ring? I don't know. Maybe as a commentator. Fuck that. Bring Lampley and Roy Jones Jr. back to PBC. Jay Barrientos, I doubt it, but I would love to see it. Mm-hmm. You see, Jim, Wilder does the same shit. That's what he does. He throws a jab to see where the hell the head gonna be. When he throws that jab, you know where the head gonna be. It's easy. It's simple. What you do is you throw the jab, you measure with the jab, you use that as your range finder. You find that range, you throw it. You throw it, you hit. That's what Wilder been doing forever. But a lot of times that shit don't work with everybody, Jim. How so, Roy? But I think it takes quite great skill to do what you've been doing. I didn't say it wouldn't take great skill, Roy. I'm just saying he's doing the same shit. That's all I'm saying. Said it like a true champ, Roy. That's what I'm here for. Physical in the house, baby. Great as a commentator would be good for America. That would be cool. I would love that job like that. Pterodactyl, salute to you. Counterpunch to you. Deep in your heart, Fury beats Joshua. Mentally stronger during the build-up and in the ring. His confidence will get to AJ. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think his confidence will. You know why? Because those guys have history. You know what the story will tell you? That Tyson Fury got his ass beat up by his own admittance when they fought last. So when Tyson Fury starts talking shit about bodybuilding and got beat up and shit, what Anthony Joshua is guaranteed to say, you know about my uppercuts. He's been in there with before. We've played in the ring before, but this time we're not going to play. Right? That type of shit. And he look, and if you look at anything, Tyson Fury, when he fights anybody, he tries to put them down. Right? That's his thing. He tries to put them down, but it's gonna be hard for him. Now he's gonna pull the Andy Ruiz shit out his ass. He's gonna do that. No, I never met Bert Sugar. Went life and death with Vilene. Well, his fucking eye did. His eye did, sir. White versus Fury is a better matchup. I would like to see all of them. Let's have a new, fresh fight. Who'd win at a pinnacle of their respect? Oh, Lennox Lewis would get Vladimir. Yeah, he would get Vladimir Klitschko because now I don't know about Vitaly. See, understand that. The only reason Vitaly lost, okay, was because of that eye. That's just like, let's put it this way. That's just like if Otto Vilene would have beat Tyson Fury because they stopped it. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's like, because it was some weird shit with that. Like it was the 6th round, end of the 6th, and they stopped it. And then Lennox Lewis won by default of them stopping it because he couldn't continue. So I think it was like a technical knockout or some bullshit like that. But no, why like Lennox Lewis did not win the fight, like, you know what I mean? And he did not come the fuck back either. That's supposed to be a fight like, look, I got to fight this guy to right my wrongs. No, he fought that guy. I got that decision, that faulty, salty ass, weird decision, and I got the fuck out of the boxing world. And he really fucking disappeared for a while. Blackpool, UK. Any word on Canelo drug test? Mark Kinsella. No, I haven't. I haven't, but I'll keep you posted. I would pay £50 to see Kurt flatten Blue Blood. That would be some cool shit. That would be some cool shit. Yeah, Vitality was fucking up Linux. But you got to give it to Linux. Linux took those punches though. So but anyway, guys, it's been great. I have to be up early. I'm gonna call it a night. I will see you guys live tomorrow along with the fresh new content of the day. Everybody on the chat, you guys been counterpunched. Be safe. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.